Let's paint a picture, shall we? Imagine this. It's a Saturday night. You're snuggled up on the couch in your pajamas, a cup of tea in hand, happily binge-watching your favorite show. Bliss, right? Wrong. Suddenly, your phone buzzes. It's a picture from your friend Sarah. She's at a rooftop party overlooking the city skyline, surrounded by smiling faces and holding a perfectly crafted cocktail. Bam! FOMO strikes. Suddenly, your cozy night in feels like a prison sentence. You start to wonder if you're wasting your life, if you're missing out on all the fun, if you're destined to become a lonely, forgotten hermit. Sound familiar? I bet it does. Because FOMO is a pandemic, a virus that infects us all, regardless of age, gender, or social status. It's a symptom of our hyper-connected world, where we're constantly bombarded with images of other people's lives, making us feel like we're always falling short. But let's dig a little deeper. What exactly is FOMO? Where does it come from? And why is it so powerful? Well, at its core, FOMO is a psychological phenomenon rooted in our basic human needs. We're social creatures, hardwired to seek connection, belonging, and validation from others. We want to be part of the group, to feel accepted and appreciated. FOMO taps into that primal desire, making us feel like we're being excluded, left behind, or missing out on something important. Think of it like this. Back in the days of hunter-gatherers, being excluded from the tribe could mean certain death. If you weren't part of the group, you wouldn't have access to food, shelter, or protection from predators. So our brains evolved to be highly sensitive to social cues, constantly scanning our environment for signs of exclusion. Fast forward to the 21st century, and those ancient instincts are still hardwired into our brains. Except now, the threats are different. Instead of being eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, we're afraid of being left out of a party, missing a viral meme, or not having the latest gadget. The stakes are much lower, but the emotional response is often the same. And that's where social media comes in. Social media platforms are like FOMO amplifiers, turning up the volume on our anxieties and insecurities. They provide us with a constant stream of curated content, designed to trigger our envy, our desire, and our fear of missing out. Think about Instagram. It's a platform built on visual perfection, where people only post the best versions of themselves. They show you their glamorous vacations, their perfectly styled outfits, their delicious meals, and their seemingly flawless relationships. They don't show you the struggles, the insecurities, the mundane moments that make up the reality of their lives. And yet, we compare ourselves to these carefully constructed images, feeling inadequate, jealous, and filled with FOMO. We start to believe that everyone else is living a better life than us, that we're somehow falling behind. The problem with FOMO is that it's a never-ending cycle. The more you try to keep up, the more you realize you're missing out on. There's always another party, another trend, another experience that you're not a part of. It's like chasing a mirage in the desert, always just out of reach. And that's why FOMO can be so damaging to our mental health. It can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, loneliness, and low self-esteem. It can also lead to impulsive behaviors like spending money we don't have, engaging in risky activities, or neglecting our responsibilities. Remember those baby trendy dolls? Let's break it down from a reviewer's perspective, shall we? At first, they seem harmless, cute, collectible, a fun little hobby, right? But then the scarcity kicks in. Limited editions, rare finds, the thrill of the hunt. Suddenly, it's not just about collecting dolls anymore. It's about the status, the bragging rights, the validation from other collectors. It becomes a competition, a race to acquire the most coveted dolls. And that's where the FOMO really takes hold. You start spending hours online, searching for those elusive dolls, outbidding other collectors, and obsessively checking your bank account. You justify it to yourself by saying it's an investment, that the dolls will be worth more in the future. But deep down, you know it's more than that. It's about the thrill of the chase, the fear of missing out on a rare find, the need to feel like you're part of the in crowd. The investment world is another playground for FOMO. Think about the cryptocurrency craze. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, NFTs. Suddenly, everyone's an expert investor, promising you overnight riches. You see your friends making money. You hear stories of people becoming millionaires, and you start to feel that familiar pang of FOMO. You think to yourself, maybe I should invest. Maybe I'm missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime. So, you do a little research, you read a few articles, and you convince yourself that you know what you're doing. You invest a little money and you see it start to grow. The FOMO intensifies. You invest more money and you get even more excited. But then, the market crashes. The value of your investment plummets. You panic. You sell everything, losing a significant amount of money. And suddenly, you're filled with regret, shame, and a whole lot of FOMO. So how do we break free from this cycle? How do we conquer FOMO and reclaim our lives? The first step is awareness. Recognize that FOMO is a real phenomenon and that it's affecting you. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. When do you feel the most FOMO? What triggers it? What do you do in response? The next step is to challenge your thoughts. Are your thoughts realistic? Are they helpful? Are they based on evidence? Or are they based on assumptions, comparisons, and unrealistic expectations? For example, if you're feeling FOMO because you see your friends traveling the world, remind yourself that they're only showing you the highlights of their trip. They're not showing you the delayed flights, the uncomfortable accommodations, or the occasional bouts of homesickness. Also, ask yourself if traveling the world is something you truly want to do, or if you're just doing it because you feel like you should. Maybe you're perfectly happy with your life as it is. Maybe you prefer spending your time and money on other things. The third step is to focus on gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your life. Focus on what you have, not on what you lack. Make a list of the things you're grateful for and read it every morning. The fourth step is to practice mindfulness. Learn to be present in the moment, to fully engage with your experiences without worrying about what you're missing out on. When you're at a concert, put your phone away and actually listen to the music. When you're having dinner with friends, focus on the conversation and the connection, not on taking pictures for Instagram. The fifth step is to set boundaries. Limit your time on social media. Unfollow accounts that trigger your FOMO. Create a joy list of activities that make you happy and fulfilled, and prioritize those activities over things that you feel obligated to do. And finally, remember that you are enough. You don't need to keep up with anyone else. You don't need to impress anyone. You just need to be yourself, live your truth, and find joy in the present moment. So embrace the joy of missing out. Embrace the freedom of living on your own terms. And remember, the best things in life are often the things you don't see coming. Because let's be honest, folks, nobody ever posts about cleaning their toilets on Instagram. And yet, we all do it. It's part of life, and it's okay to miss the rooftop party to take care of the less glamorous but necessary parts of being a functional human being. Now, go forth and conquer your FOMO. You've got this.
If you enjoy this video, click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.